Welcome to PurelyB Inspired, where we'll be sharing Malaysian heritage stories and successes with me, Jasrina Arshad, your host. I'm the founder and CEO of PurelyB, and we're passionate about preserving and reviving ancient Malaysian wellness traditions for today's generation. Today, I'm joined by Dr. Carolyn Goh. Dr. Carolyn is a medical doctor, PhD in bioengineering, and a passionate wellness expert who has spent years blending modern science with a deep focus on stress management, gut health, natural detoxification, and autoimmune diseases. Dr. Carolyn has helped countless women regain balance and vitality using a combination of traditional remedies, minerals, nutrition, and lifestyle changes. Beyond her medical background, she holds numerous qualifications in detox nutrition and Bowen therapy and works closely with the nervous system to help reset the body's natural healing mechanisms. Her approach is all about understanding the root cause of health issues rather than just treating symptoms. In today's conversation, we'll be deep diving into what truly makes a difference in women's health, from hormone balance to stress management, all with natural remedies, and unlocking the power of ancestral wisdom, natural herbs, and remedies for optimal well-being. Dr. Carolyn, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So, Dr. Carolyn, you have a very diverse background, from bioengineering to Western medicine to now traditional healing as well. Please share with me what made you decide to explore such different fields and integrate them into your approach to healing today.
It all came together very naturally for me. So it's very organic in the way it happened. I started off actually in the field of engineering. So I started off as a mechanical engineer with also a combined degree in business. And after I finished my master's, I was actually going to go into the corporate world. So I had a job in a consulting firm. Right. Then I got contacted by my professor who says, I've got a PhD scholarship for you in bioengineering, studying heart rate variability, sudden infant death in babies. So it was COTNET. So something that was, very interesting to me. And I thought, the job can wait. I'll go back and do that. So that was based at Chelsea Westminster Hospital in the UK.
I see.
So surrounded by, people in the medical profession, I decided, actually, this is something which I'm quite interested in. And I've got a very inquisitive mind and I like to dig deep. And I always, sort of ask the question, why, a lot. So I thought, okay, maybe, I'll do this. So I entered a graduate entry program into medicine.
Oh, right.
Then when I graduated from medical school, I realized that all the fields that I'd been through actually somehow contributed to my perspective. And it gave me a really different, holistic way of looking at healing. To say that I actually decided to come about with an integrated approach, I think it
was a journey, step by step.
Happened organically.
Right.
So it wasn't something that I decided on. And way back then, if you told me I'd be doing this right now, I would say,
Yeah. No, it's really interesting because obviously, it's not a lot of health practitioners necessarily take such an integrated approach. And you have talked about it in the past, and it's very clear in the way that you do approach your practice that herbs and nature play such a dominant role. Can you talk a bit more about that?
I've always had an affinity for nature. Okay, so I love being
Me
outdoors.
too.
And growing up, we had a lot of animals, right? The house was like a zoo.
Right.
Okay? So
what kind of animals?
All kinds. All domestic animals.
Okay. So, you're like, clarification, disclaimer.
None that will eat you. Nice animals. And we had lots of dogs. I would watch them when they're not feeling well. They'd go into the garden and they'd choose specific grass to eat. And they'd feel, that was their medicine. And they knew what to choose, right? So it's very intuitive. I always had the belief that Mother Nature provides for us. So I grew up with that belief.
Yeah.
And then when I was in medical school, I was, suddenly immersed in this environment which was somewhat synthetic, chemically driven, because that's what pharmaceutical medicine is. And there is no life force behind that. There's no energy. There's no essence in chemicals, right? There's no biology in it. Whereas if you look at herbs, they're living beings, they have an essence.
Yeah.
And because we are energy beings, it makes complete sense to me.
The synergy
is
there. Yeah.
To look at nature for our cures.
Yeah.
So, that's how I ended up. I just had an affinity for it. And
so it naturally led you down that path.
Very, very naturally.
And so today, how would you describe what your practice and approach is?
It just, whatever I feel resonates with the patient, I would go down that route, because I feel that for someone to heal, they've got to truly believe in what they're doing. They've got to resonate with your form of treatment.
Yeah.
So whatever it is they resonate with.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you actually, it's very tailored person to person, individual.
It's very, very tailored.
Yeah.
And mostly it's about raising the person's vibrations to a level where they're then able to choose using their own intuitiveness what works for them.
Yeah.
Because ultimately we know what would work for us.
Yes.
And we know where we need to heal.
Yes.
Right? We know where our wounds are. So it's not always for the doctor to point out what you should do. It's about getting them to that level where they can see it in themselves. Yeah. I think to me that would, in a nutshell, that's what I do.
So you specialize in many areas, including gut health and natural detox. Why are these areas so important for people today, for their health and well-being?
I think if we start with gut health, I think most of us are quite well versed on the human microbiome. And
not a lot of people.
Not a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, they know gut health is important, but they don't know why.
Okay, so the good bacteria, right? So we all know about the good bacteria that resides in our gut. And this good bacteria makes a lot of things for us, right? So it's like our little factories in there. So they make a lot of neurotransmitters, a lot of enzymes, etc. So for example, look at dopamine and serotonin. A lot of it comes from the gut. Right? And those are things that make us happy.
Yes.
When I worked with Dr. Natasha Campbell-McBride, who is the Gut and Psychology Syndrome Nutritional Protocol, she's the founder of it. It was very, very interesting because her background is in neurology. So she's a neurologist. So she was treating...
The gut and the brain connection.
Exactly. So she was treating a whole host of patients using just diet. And everything from schizophrenia to depression. Wow. So extremes of the spectrum. Yeah. And actually her son was autistic. And that's how she uncovered this protocol and helped him. So, it's very, very important.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be looked at in isolation. You need to look at a whole host of things, not just the gut. Right?
So what are some of the other areas to look at?
Well, minerals are very important because when we look at minerals actually help the body produce digestive enzymes as well as hormones, a whole host of things. Yeah. So minerals are like the spark plug of our bodies. Okay. Without the minerals, things just don't fire. So it's the basis of all things. So if you have a good mineral balance, you're then able to produce enough digestive enzymes. So you're looking at things like hydrochloric acid and pepsin. Okay. Many more things. But if you focus on those two, if you look at those two, if you have enough of those, you can then break down your food really well. If you don't have enough of those, you can eat superfood every day.
It's not
but
going to
you're
make
not
a difference.
Getting anything from it. A lot of times I feel people focus on the probiotics and things like that, which is, nothing wrong with that. Yes. But also look deeper. Look at your minerals, what's happening down there. Yeah.
So for the listeners out there, okay, well, how do we ensure that we have our mineral intake, the necessary levels?
I think most of us are deficient in minerals because our food is deficient in minerals, because our soil is deficient in minerals. So most
unlike
of us,
back in the day.
Unlike back in the day. Yeah. Okay. And there are a lot of other things that we are taking that actually leach our body of minerals as well. EMFs are one of those. They disrupt our detoxification process. Okay. When you disrupt that, your minerals are also affected. Okay, so we talk about detoxification. We're surrounded by all kinds of chemicals, toxins, everything. Not to be afraid of it, but to figure out what we have. Exactly. Yeah. So we shouldn't live in fear of it, but at the same time, we need to know what to do to protect ourselves or to help ourselves, right? Because if we're not getting the nutrients we need or the minerals from food, and at the same time, we can't detoxify properly, I mean, it's a recipe for disaster.
Exactly. So what do you do? What's the solution?
Yeah. So you can try natural remedies for detoxification, but simple things, very simple things like going in the sun, sweating.
Vitamin D.
But also the sun is not just vitamin D, but it's also all the rays that you get, right? Because the spectrum of rays that it delivers to us. Right. Now, for example, like if you look at blue light is not only very damaging on your retina, it's also a very specific wavelength that actually starves your cells of oxygen. So when you look at the screen for a long time and you feel tired? Yes. So your mitochondria
what do you call it? Blue light syndrome or something? I don't know. Yeah.
Your mitochondria is being starved, and your mitochondria feeds on electrons. So your cells, your mitochondria, which is the powerhouse, the battery in it, it needs electrons. And you get electrons from the sun, from the ground, from water,
from nature,
from food.
Yeah.
We're like plants.
Yeah.
We're no different from plants. Yeah. Right? Exactly. And what do? We hide ourselves away.
Indoors.
We use sunblock everywhere.
Yes.
Right?
Don't use sunblock?
I don't use sunblock. I
actually don't use sunblock either.
I don't see the point in it, really, because I want what the sun's giving me, and you can very easily adapt to more sun. Some people say they go in, they burn, right? But just go in slowly, 20 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day.
Yeah,
that's all
don't
you need.
overdo it.
Yeah.
So we're all deficient when it comes to the essential minerals for our body. What would you advise to people on how to ensure that they prevent that and they increase those levels?
So as I mentioned, the sun. The sun is really important, not just for vitamin D, but because of the rays. And because those rays actually empower your mitochondria. Now, when your mitochondria just produces more energy, everything runs smoothly in your body because you've got energy, right? So actually, I came across a really good quote by Mark Hyman. He's a doctor in Mark Hyman.
Yes, of course.
So he said that stress is the inability of the body to produce enough energy for the brain to cope with its environment. Okay.
That's
and
an interesting
I think that
perspective.
is so nicely put, because that's so true. If you have enough energy in your body, you just don't feel the stress. You cope with everything.
That's true. It's when you're feeling very low.
Yeah. It's when you are low in energy and you're not producing what you need or what the brain needs, right? That's when any little thing will trigger you.
Yes.
Right? So, and stress normally builds up over time. And then at a certain point of time, you just go like, everything is stressful, right? So it shouldn't be that way, because we're resilient bodies, right? So the main thing is to give your body more energy, to provide your mitochondria with more energy. That's where nature and the sun comes in.
Right.
And obviously a good mineral base, as I mentioned before. And when it comes to mineral base, then you're looking at your adrenals. Okay. Because your adrenals are the number one gland, basically, hair. But they're the number one ones that help you cope with stress, right? Yeah. Because they produce the stress hormones. So if they are well fed, if you look after them with a good mineral base, they're good. The thing that they want most is salt, potassium, and vitamin C.
And vitamin C. Okay. What's a good source of vitamin C? For minerals.
Vitamin C is not, firstly, ascorbic acid or ascorbate. Okay? It is not that. Vitamin C complex is much more than just ascorbic acid. You see outside, a lot of people sell ascorbic acid.
Yes.
And sometimes you see natural ascorbic acid. It doesn't matter whether it's natural or synthetic, it's still just ascorbic acid.
What is natural ascorbic acid anyway?
So they extract it from things like acerola cherry or something like that.
Right.
But it's an extract. It's isolated. Not the whole complete complex of vitamin C.
Got it.
So the complete complex has bioflavonoids, has tyrosinase, which has 4 molecules of copper. It has a lot in it.
Which is all the essentials.
Which is all the essentials. So it's almost like if you just take an ascorbic acid, it's like you've got a car, but you don't have an engine. Okay? You're not going to get anywhere.
Right.
And, they call it expensive urine because...
Oh, God. Because you just
don't absorb it. I learned that from a patient way back, because I was giving out ascorbic acid before I knew about all this.
How long ago was this?
Maybe 20 years or so.
Wow. Okay.
And I was helping people's adrenals with ascorbic acid, or I thought I was helping.
Oh, wow.
And then one day a patient walked in and she had a blood test and she said, "Look at my urine. All the ascorbic acid. What's in her urine?" I was like, "What is going on here?" And
it's just all coming out. It's just not absorbed.
Your body doesn't want it. Number one, if it's synthetic, your body doesn't know what to do with it, doesn't want it.
Right.
And even if it's natural, your body can't use it effectively. From my work with Dr. Michael Kuchera, he talks about if you take an isolated compound, when you ingest it, it will try and complete itself by leaching your body of the necessary components. So not only are you not using it effectively,
it's causing harm to your body.
Causing long-term damage. Yeah. Which I think is the opposite of what a lot of people are trying to do when they take vitamin C.
Yes. So
very, very important that you need to take a whole food vitamin C. So something like a fruit like amlaki, like the Indian gooseberry, for example, right?
Yes.
It's very high and very potent in vitamin C as well as antioxidants.
Is that the highest source of vitamin C naturally?
At the moment, I think kakadu plum is one of the
Kakadu plum?
Yeah. So we've got a few like kakadu plum, acerola cherry, camu,
and amalaki.
Amalaki is always obviously found in our
region. More abundance.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And it's from the tropics.
Yeah, it's from the tropics. I always feel that we should always eat from where you live.
I agree. Yeah. It's all about genetics as well, right?
Genetics as well. And there's something to do with the photons. So where you live, the sun delivers those same rays. So we're looking at frequencies. You're getting a similar frequency as the plant that you were eating. So there's a match. Energy frequency side of things, it's very interesting, and I feel we haven't tapped into it enough.
I'm very fascinated about that. I read a lot about it, and I agree with you. It hasn't really gone mass awareness. Yeah. I don't think people are necessarily paying attention to that when it comes to their well-being.
Eating local produce, what's in season, because of that energy side of things and what is fed into that material that you're eating.
Yeah. So with the whole food vitamin C, I don't think a lot of people are realizing that they are not consuming that form of vitamin C that is very essential. I think for everyone out there, when you're looking at your supplements in your kitchen counter and your vitamin C that you take every day, turn it around, read the back of the label,
Have a look.
at what's in it. Does it say ascorbic acid? Probably 90% of you are going to say yes. Would you say probably 90%?
Yeah.
Or like maybe higher? You don't realize it. I think everyone's just buying vitamin C. They see vitamin C and they buy it, right? And maybe they're looking at the dosage of vitamin C. What would you say about that? People looking at how many milligrams of vitamin C is in there as a benchmark. So this is a product I should buy.
If you were to take one amla berry, it won't have very high amounts of ascorbic acid, but in its whole, in its entire complex, it's super powerful. When you have the engine and the car, it's so much more powerful. You can't.
But just in the test, it's based on ascorbic acid.
Because yes, that is what they test for, right? Because they can't test for the entire vitamin C complex. So what they test for is one isolated component, which has, misled a lot of people into believing that that is what our body wants, our body needs. And
that's not the way to select your vitamin C. It's actually what's the source of the vitamin C. And I think that's a very, very important piece of information that you shared that I think a lot of people are just not aware of and they need to be. What would you say people would feel differently if they start switching to whole food vitamin C versus ascorbic acid as the pure vitamin C source?
You would find that it's much gentler on the body. A lot of people are looking for a quick fix, immediately want to feel better. That's not the way nature works. It's a gradual process, but it's a much gentler process in the body. And eventually you start feeling good. You start feeling whole. You start feeling energetic. You sleep
and it's
better.
consistent.
It's consistent. Your skin looks better. Your hair is better. Everything is better. The same thing with minerals. When you take it after a while, you start feeling the effects. You're not going to feel it immediately, but it's something that gradually builds your body up until one day you find, I don't have what I had before. I'm sleeping much better. I'm very regular. Everything's just working better. And that's the minerals doing its job.
I think it's also the same thing with immunity, right? It's not something overnight, but suddenly 3 months later, you'll be like, wait a minute, I haven't fallen sick at all during this time. And I'm traveling, I'm going up and down, and I usually will be sniffly. And that's something I went through as well. And I was like, wait, it's working.
That's the way nature works. When things work like that, you know that you've got the right thing. That's the way I look at it when my patients suddenly, you know that thing you gave me like 3 months ago? I think it works. And then I know that's the right thing. Sometimes too strong, too fast. Later on, you have repercussions.
What are some of the other minerals that you would say?
So I said sea salt is very important.
Yes, not other salts.
Himalayan rock salt. Some people go for.
Okay.
All salt comes from the sea. Sea salt specifically because it's also very good for radiation. We are living in a soup of radiation, right?
Yes.
Non-native EMFs everywhere. Right? Not only the blue light that I spoke about. It's not a linear frequency that you're looking at because it interacts with other frequencies and it creates different waves. So when they measure, when they say something is safe for you and they measure it in isolation. So this is something that I learned from my detox guru in Switzerland, Dr. Ray. And he was telling me that it's ridiculous that they say these things are safe for you because when they measure it, it's just at one single frequency they're looking at. They say, okay, it's a safe frequency for this human. But this human has other stuff around them, right? Not just the mobile phone. They've got laptops, they've got TVs, they've got fridges. You have a different frequency coming out from that. And that's where the danger is, the combination. So sea salt, really, really important. Not just for ingestion, but also for, rubbing it on yourself in the shower.
I was going to say, how would you say to consume tea? Because obviously, people cook with it and whatnot. Some people add it into their water because they think they're able to
absorb
hydrate
water,
better.
But that's fine. Yeah.
But you would say like soak in a bath with sea salt?
I do that frequently. I soak in a bath, I exfoliate with sea salt.
So I would soak in a bath with Epsom salt.
You can do that as well.
That's fine too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Epsom salts is great, magnesium sulfate, right? Because you want the magnesium in you and everything. That's great as well. Sea salts is a different property as well. You can combine both of them.
I actually feel really good after I do that bath.
It's like being in the sea.
Yeah, it's true.
There's a very special quality about it. It's very cleansing.
Exactly. Cleansing is the right word. You just feel like you just feel rejuvenated.
Exactly. Zinc is important for the immune system, but it's best to get zinc from food. Oysters are very high in zinc.
Oysters? Oysters are high in zinc. Okay. What? Interesting. Okay. I don't think anyone would have ever thought that. I don't eat shellfish. So I wouldn't get it from shellfish.
But lots of things have zinc in them. I mean, we only need a small quantity.
Is there such thing as too much zinc?
If it's true food, your body knows how to regulate it.
Right.
The danger comes when you start supplementing
With the drugs, yeah.
With zinc in high
In the
doses
pharmacies,
and things like
yeah.
that. And that's when it can actually complicate things in the body. When you talk about minerals, there's a balance in your body.
Yeah.
Right. So when you
Yeah.
take too much of something else will try and compensate. There's a huge jigsaw puzzle going
Yes.
on there. So you don't want to upset that balance.
I remember when some people would take zinc at night, they would feel nauseous. I'm assuming with the natural sources of zinc,
Yeah.
in particular from fruits, you would not feel that. That's only when you take it from the tablets and whatnot.
From
right?
natural sources, you will only get a wee tiny amount of it, right? You won't get zinc in grams.
Yeah. So it's not going to
source.
cause that
it's not
effect.
going to cause those issues.
Right, right.
So if you stick to food sources, you're good.
What other foods have good
Lots
amounts
of
of
nuts
zinc?
and seeds.
Nuts and
fruits.
seeds. Fruits?
Yeah.
Like guava?
Guava has zinc in it. Papaya.
These are like very accessible fruits. So I think, no excuses. Just go buy these fruits, buy oysters. And
Okay, maybe not
Get your
oysters.
daily-
Yeah.
get your
It's the
daily
first
zinc.
thing that came to my mind. Okay, oysters are in zinc. But they are.
Yeah,
they are.
no, I'm sure it's the number one. Okay, so for all the listeners out there who are a bit maybe mind blown about not realizing that their vitamin C is actually causing potential harmful effects into their body and health in the long run, I think ascorbic acid, synthetic vitamin C, potentially kidney issues, liver issues, and whatnot, right? So I think for people out there who are just finding this out for the first time and are like, where can I find this whole food vitamin C? Because amla, amalaki, and acerola cherries are not so readily available. They're not just going to go to the market and be able to just pick it up. How would you advise for them to be able to then get a good whole food vitamin C for their daily supplement?
Okay, so when you're looking for a whole food vitamin C, there are a lot of vitamin C's on the market.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you're going for a whole food vitamin C complex. That means no ascorbic acids, no ascorbates. So make sure that is not in the formulation. Sometimes,
And it will be clearly stated on the label, so you will know.
Sometimes they will add a little bit for marketing purposes because, as we mentioned before, they need to have a certain amount of vitamin C to say it's a vitamin C.
Right.
Right.
But that's okay. A little bit is okay, is what you're saying.
As long as they've got the other factors in it as well.
Okay.
So don't bother looking for things which are high in ascorbic acid like vitamin C.
That
in
will make a
milligrams,
difference.
okay?
Yeah.
Look for the whole food complex. And some brands will actually say that, okay, so our vitamin C whole food complex comes from, say, for example, acerola cherry. Okay, acerola cherry that was processed at very low temperatures.
Yeah.
Now the key there is low temperatures.
Yeah.
Okay, because vitamin C, the complex itself, can degrade very quickly at high temperatures.
Mm.
Now, if it's a spray dried version, then you've got nothing else apart from your ascorbic acid normally. That's the only thing that will survive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But you wouldn't know that as a consumer. You wouldn't know. So you have to look at what the company says. And sometimes when they say low temperature, that's the one to go for.
So these are very, very good advice, key points for people to latch on and get your whole food vitamin C so you can properly absorb into your system and you can actually get the benefits for your daily intake of essential minerals.
And also remember that when you are taking a whole food vitamin C complex, it's much more powerful than ascorbic acid.
Okay.
So you need much less. Very cost effective as well.
Very cost effective, yes. So Dr. Carolyn, in your experience, what are some of the most common health issues that women face today in today's world? And what are some like the lifestyle factors that may be causing it?
Autoimmunity is on the rise.
Okay.
Hormonal fertility issues.
Yes.
Adrenal fatigue. People are tired. Very, very tired. And I would say thyroid conditions.
What do you think is causing it in our lifestyles?
I sort of call it the superwoman syndrome.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's all of us.
So I was listening to Oprah recently, a couple of days ago. She was interviewing Amy Griffin, who does
the author.
The Tell Me book.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And one of the things that she said was, I wore my busyness as a badge of honor.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you feel like you're not...
If you're not doing anything, you're
not productive, you're lazy.
It's like we have to be on the go, busy, doing, else we're not succeeding.
Yeah.
Right? But sometimes I think we really, when you're tired, just take a step back. Because we're not productive when we're tired anyway.
We're not.
When your nervous system is in
the law
overdrive.
of diminishing returns.
Exactly. Take a step back.
Yeah.
And then recharge and then slowly go back into it.
And because many of us do not do that, you hit that point where it's almost like burnout, breaking point. Is that
we're overstretched. And that's down to the adrenals, isn't it? Because the adrenals produce all the stress hormones. And cortisol, for example, is anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
So it's the first thing that happens when your adrenals are fatigued and they don't produce enough cortisol, inflammation rises.
Yeah.
Inflammation rises.
And inflammation causes...
Everything goes
yes.
crazy, right?
That's so true.
Causes havoc everywhere.
Yeah.
And if you don't bring it back down, there are very simple techniques that we can do. Like, for example, if you want to, say you've gone through a stressful day, you want to regulate your immune system, and you can sit down and meditate and do these kind of things. But simple things like just rubbing your shoulders on the side like this, it's very soothing because it tells your nervous system, I'm safe. I'm in a safe space, right? There's no lion behind me. There are no predators that are about to eat me. I don't have to be in the sympathetic fight or flight mode.
Right. Even though you're naturally in the fight and flight state because you're just like
because you're on the go. You're on the go. And you're wired.
Yeah.
You know that term, wired but tired. Yeah. Right? You can't sleep. Wheels keep turning because
so just
something like this
and just
is what our parents would do to a child. To you when you were little, to say it's okay, you're safe,
you're warm.
So we have to be our own best friends now, right? We have to give ourselves hugs. Just those simple things. I mean, there are lots of things I teach my patients about vagal nerve stimulation, exercises they can do, yoga postures and things like that to stimulate. But just on a daily basis, if you need something quick, that really works. It's just a signal to the nervous system. Hey, you're safe. You're okay. Go back into parasympathetic mode. Rest, digest, heal. You're okay.
And then ease back into it.
And then slowly ease back into it. And then when you come back into it, you're coming from a different perspective. Your energy is different. Your vibrations are different. You solve problems differently. Much more effective.
Yeah. So if you're at the laptop all day in front of the computer, pause, step away. Just do this. Just for a little while. Go into nature while you do it.
Absolutely. Grounding. So important.
I do grounding all the time.
I made it every single day. I have this thing about collecting electrons. Okay, I'm going to collect electrons today, and where am I going to collect electrons? So from the ground, I'm going to get them from.
You have a garden.
Yeah, I have a garden, so I can step onto the garden. Yeah. Right? I go and walk in nature, put my feet in a stream, whatever it is. But I have to.
But you can't do that here in KL.
I do it in KL.
Yeah, but okay. Not in your house.
Not in my house.
Yeah, I was like, go to your backyard, the stream. Okay. Yeah. You drive to the street.
I drive and I walk in it. It was Livy's horse riding. I just go and walk.
Nice. Yeah. So a lot of people have like cats and dogs.
Yeah,
does that count?
Your cat, because your cat is like, she's comfortable just being a cat.
Oh my gosh.
She's comfortable.
They lead the best life.
Why are we not being cats, right? Why are we running around like overstretching ourselves and trying to tick so many boxes?
That's true.
When at the end of the day, Anita Murjani? Dying to be me.
No.
So there's a very interesting book. You have to read
it.
I think it was 2002.
Okay.
A patient of mine actually gave me this book when I was in the UK. She obviously thought it would resonate with me.
Yeah.
And it did.
Because you were a superwoman?
No, I was trying. But she grew up in Hong Kong.
Right.
She's of Indian origin. She had a lot of discords in her life because culturally, etc., she was in a different society and parents' expectations and things like that. She developed cancer. I think it was in 2002 where she was terminally ill. So she was rushed to the hospital because it was the end stage. She went into a coma.
Oh my God.
And she had an NDE, a near-death experience. She passed on and then she came back. And when she returned, because of what she'd learned on the other side, she learned that basically our job is to just love yourself unconditionally. Be authentic to who you are. Just, that's all you need to do. It doesn't matter what society demands of you, whatever. You need to prioritize that. When she came back, she was euphoric. She was at such a high vibration.
Wow.
That her tumors disappeared within 4 to 7 days.
Oh my God.
The doctors were amazed. They kept sending her for biopsies and things, and they couldn't figure it out. And she had a feeding tube in, oxygen.
Yeah.
She said, take it out. I don't need it anymore. And the first thing that she asked for, because she hadn't eaten in some time, because she had a feeding tube, right?
Yeah.
The first thing that she asked for, they said, what do you want to eat? She said, chocolate ice cream.
It makes me happy.
Because it made her happy, right? A lot of us, when we make choices, we make it from a place of fear.
Right.
Don't eat this because this is bad for me. And it's very restrictive.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on the things that bring you joy.
Yeah.
But when you hit that certain vibration, most of us won't be able to have this very high vibration because we don't have this experience that she had.
Yeah.
But we can still try and achieve a level at which we're not living in fear.
Yeah.
When we make choices, it has to be from a place of love for ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? So when you choose food, it's to nourish yourself. When you choose what to do, it's to feed yourself, to make you happy.
Yeah.
Right? So that should be your choice every single time. And even when you're choosing a treatment, say you've got an illness, what feels good for you?
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't matter what other people say. And people will say things and they will try and, influence your decisions, but you just need to know who you are and just choose from that space.
Yeah.
So basically not live in fear.
And then that comes with every decision in life.
Every single decision.
Like don't what everyone expects of you, what society expects of you, just what feels right to you. Like stay with it for a bit and your gut will tell you, because they always say like women intuition, instincts, right?
And animals have that instinct that they haven't lost. And we had it, I'm sure, at some point. We just need to uncover it. It's there.
It's drowned out amongst all the busyness and the noise.
You should read a book.
I would love to read the book now.
Dying to be me. And she's all over the place now giving talks and stuff.
Go back to yourself. Reconnect with yourself. And I actually found, as an entrepreneur, I'm always like crazy busy running around, all that stuff. At one point, I remember, there's always the saying, even if you tell someone, take a break, meditate, whatever it might be, I don't have time. My always thing is like, I don't have time. It's just like, so much to do, not enough hours in a day, blah, blah, blah. And for some reason, at one point, this was like towards the end of last year, I just felt there was like a meeting got canceled, like an important meeting got canceled. That meant that day, it was a public holiday, but I had a meeting on that day. It was free and I had a window. I think it was a Deepavali time. And I felt that I wanted to reconnect with nature. And I didn't just want to go to my garden, which I can, and go grounding. I wanted to just completely disconnect. So I went to Sarawak. And
good for you.
And I went to, so for me, I just went to Kuching.
Kuching, okay.
Yeah, because it was just me by myself traveling. And I stayed in this resort that was like a boutique and hardly anyone was there. And the pool I had all to myself. And with just overlooking the ocean and the mountains, it just felt like I didn't even look at work. I turned off work completely, which is unlike me. But I told my team, I'm like, I am not contactable for work. And I just in the morning journaled, meditated, and anything I thought about was more about just me, my goals, my life, and everything, like my family, all of that, but nothing work related, even though that's very important to me. But I said, for one day, I'm just going to switch off. And then I went to the caves. I went into the caves. I went into the ocean.
What caves you went to? Oh.
No, Kuching.
Ah, okay. So
so the fairy cave, the bat cave, the fairy cave was amazing. I loved the energy when I went in there. And they had water in there. So I was like, I was touching the water. I was like, energy cleanse.
Yes. Connect your electrons.
Because it's in the cave. Even more, it's cave water, right? So when I came back, I felt rejuvenated. Like suddenly, like my productivity, my mind was sharper than before. And it reminded me that I need to do this more often. No matter how busy I am.
On a daily basis. I think we need to do it on a daily basis.
Oh my gosh, how do you do this on a daily basis?
Just 20 minutes I meditate in the morning.
The meditate, right.
For me, if I don't meditate, the whole day is just helter-skelter. It's chaotic for me. And when I meditate, I get this clarity and slowness. The time stretches. Things happen. I don't know. It's just like the day is so much longer and slower, and you see things from a different perspective. So I don't get so thrown out if something doesn't go my way. But if I don't meditate, then I'm like, being thrown about.
I think meditation is so key. I remember at one point I used to meditate very regularly, and then when things got so busy, I forgot. And then when I started again, which now I've started again, I can't remember why I forgot. It's like, why did you forget?
It's so nice, right? I mean, it's like going home, isn't it? It's like
it is
a really safe space.
It is. So connect with yourself.
Connect yourself.
And try and find just some quiet time from all the hecticness and the busyness to slow down, even if it's 20 minutes a day.
That's all you need. Go after nature.
Go after nature.
Go out in the sun, especially.
Go into the sun. Okay. Sun, soil, all of that is just outside of your house,
ground.
There's no excuse.
Exactly. No excuse.
So let's talk about autoimmune disease, because I know you definitely specialize in that. You've talked about your daughter also suffering from autoimmune disease, and you have a lot of customers and patients. Tell us more about, you've helped people heal who have autoimmune disease, and what tips you can offer to people, whether it comes from supplements, daily lifestyle, all of it.
Autoimmunity, I think the very first thing to remember or to believe is that your body is not attacking itself. You're often told that, you often read that. I mean, how can it be possible, right? That's not the way nature works.
Your body's a temple.
Exactly, your body's a temple. It heals itself. It won't kill itself. It's against all nature's laws. The thing to remember, firstly, is that your body can heal itself given the necessary loving care that it needs, which can be in the form of you just taking time out, or it can be in the form of, mineral balancing, little therapies here and there. But it just needs a little tweak. And a lot of times, I think when people are told you've got autoimmunity, they think it's a death sentence. They're going to live with it.
Oh,
terrible.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's so disempowering.
It is.
Very disempowering. So the first thing I tell my patients is, okay, firstly, your body is not trying to kill itself, okay? Your body is just telling you there's something wrong. And most of the times, it's just balancing your minerals, reducing inflammation in the system, looking at a little bit of gut health, maybe some detoxification is needed, and some lifestyle change, just stress management.
Right.
So the way I go about it is, firstly, if your symptoms are quite troubling, I give them some herbs or some natural remedies to just lower their symptoms a little bit. First. And then they're in a better position now, because they're feeling a little bit better, to then look at things in a broader perspective, right?
Yeah.
And so they can then pinpoint, I need to sort this out stress management wise. And I give them some tools.
Stress is a big factor.
Huge factor.
Yeah.
So I use the healing code, which I find very, very powerful.
Okay.
It's by Alexander Lloyd.
I've heard of it.
It's very simple, but it's so powerful. Clears emotional blockages and trauma. And I teach them that. Sometimes I go through it with them. And it's something you have to do consistently, but it works.
Interesting.
And they've actually tested it.
How long does it take to see results?
Depends how deep the, I would say, trauma or emotional blockage is. If it's something surface level, normally for autoimmunity, it won't be surface level. It'll be something a little bit deeper. But obviously, you work with that. So you manage your stress levels through that. And then there's the mineral balancing part about it.
Right.
As well. So,
which you've talked about earlier.
And it's very tempting sometimes because with minerals, deficiencies don't show up very easily in blood tests, in routine blood tests. Okay?
How would you know if you are deficient?
You need to ask for specific blood tests.
Okay.
Or you can ask for hair mineral analysis, or if someone is really very good at looking at signs and symptoms, then they can figure it out for you. But when you do a routine blood test, normally, people look at things like vitamin D and stuff like that, right?
That's the standard.
Vitamin D is the standard, and
everyone's deficient
at the moment. Everyone's deficient, right? But nobody asked the question. Why are they deficient? All they do is, you're deficient in vitamin D. I'm going to give you a supplement of vitamin D, which is
it's like the homeopathic even ones,
which is normally synthetic, right?
Yeah.
And why are these people deficient? Now, magnesium is a cofactor in the production of vitamin D. So dig deeper. There's something going on there. Because vitamin D is something your body naturally produces. Right? So if your body is not producing it, by actually giving it something, so anything that your body naturally produces endogenously, if you supplement with it, your body just goes, I don't need to make so much now. There's a lot of it floating around.
Right.
So what are you actually doing here? You're actually stopping your body producing more.
You're sort of crippling your body in that way. Yeah.
So that's a quick fix. You take a supplement. And a lot of people find they take a supplement. Hey, my vitamin D is not going up. What's going on here? Yes, exactly. It's not going to go up. But you're lucky it's not going up yet because your body is telling you, this is not helping me. Dig deeper. So then you dig deeper, look at the minerals. Normally it's the minerals. You balance that out and your body goes, I've got everything I need. I'm going to make vitamin D now.
So that would typically be the source, just naturally within you, naturally produced by you. Yeah.
Vitamin D is a hormone.
Yeah.
It's produced by the body.
Yeah. And so, but the sun, of course, that's
helps.
That's natural. That's a natural source.
Yeah. So the sun activates your mitochondria.
Yeah.
Right? So it gives your body energy so you can produce more.
Exactly. So basically, everyone just needs to be more mindful about synthetic sources of their vitamins and their minerals because it's actually causing more harm than good. And so with the herbs and remedies regarding autoimmune disease that you say that you typically prescribe, would you be able to share?
Depends on what the patient needs.
Oh, okay.
So for example, if someone is a hyperthyroid, for example, lemon balm works very well.
Okay.
It calms the system down.
Lemon balm.
Yeah.
Okay.
If someone has, say, stress management issues, etc., then an adaptogen like ashwagandha or Pegaga would work well for that as well. It really depends on the patient. Yeah.
What about hormone imbalance? That's a big thing for women. For fertility, menopause symptoms. What would you say?
So I would definitely mineral balance first. Mineral balance. But if someone is suffering from really bad PMS symptoms, menopause symptoms, all the bloating and all bad temper and stuff like that, Vitex, so Agnus Cactus, that really helps as well. But those things, you take it in tincture form and you don't take it for the long term. It's something where, you have that, you solve things in the base with mineral balancing, etc., and you treat the symptoms. So you always treat the root cause and you treat the symptoms. The symptoms short term, never long term treatment of the symptoms.
Right. That's why that one's only short term, but then the minerals is the long term.
The long term. So when this rebalances, you find, actually,
I'm fine.
I used to take that Vitex, but I found I forgot all about it.
Yeah.
So that's the way it works, It's
yes.
like I used to have to take this, but I forgot all about it.
Yeah.
I don't need it now.
Yeah. And there are a lot of herbs as well out there to help with women internal health and hormone balance as well, right?
Sometimes you need a bit of guidance.
Yes, of course. Which ones to take, the dosage to take them, the combination to take them. I know Kacip Fatima, Manjakani,
yeah.
all of Malaysian.
In terms of
herbs.
potency,
Yeah.
tinctures are the most potent.
Mm,
When you have
okay.
it in its dried form, as a whole herb, it's more or less considered a food. So it's
Right.
less potent, but
Right.
it's still very useful. And when it's a food, you can then take it on a daily basis.
Correct. There's no such thing as too much of it. Yeah.
But I would still switch it around. Don't let your body get used to it too much.
Ah,
Right? Just switch
okay.
it around. So
Yes.
play around
It's
with
always
it.
like that with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can have it as a tea, a tisane.
Yeah.
So that's also a gentle way of introducing it.
Right.
So depending on what you want from the herb, you would use different forms of it, either in its powdered form for the longer term, for building resilience,
daily,
things like that. Or to treat a targeted symptom there
then
and
it's just very short term.
You do a tincture.
Yeah.
Depending on what you want to use it for.
Okay. Yeah, I think that'll be super helpful to a lot of the women listeners out there. So we talked a lot about natural remedies, and you work with a lot of traditional herbs and remedies in your practice. Malaysia is the home of some of the most powerful herbs in the world and the tropics. What would you say your top 5 Malaysian plants for healing that you would recommend to our listeners?
Number 1, because I'm all about mineral balancing now,
yes.
it would be moringa. Because it's really heavy in minerals. It's really good. So really brilliant for your skin, your hair. If you're suffering from hair loss and things like that, or brain, look at moringa. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can take that, right, as its leaves itself. You can dry it in the sun. You can pound it. So it's in powder.
Just do it yourself.
Do it yourself.
Yeah.
It's easy. What my mom does is she goes down to the market and she buys sprigs of the leaves. And so because the leaves are tiny, right? So you've got these huge, I don't call it branches, but I guess branches of it.
Yeah.
And then she puts them in the sun, dries them.
Okay.
And then we pound them. And she sprinkles it on her breakfast because it
doesn't
taste bad at all, right?
Yeah. Not too bitter.
It's a very neutral taste, right?
Yeah.
So, or if you're a chicken, you just put it in a capsule and swallow it. Actually, what she makes is
Did she put it into a drink?
No. It's not soluble, definitely.
Right.
So it would just clump up into
But like in a blender.
You could, yeah. I'm just not very lazy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You went to all that trouble to dry it and pound it.
Just take it. I would just sprinkle it. Just take it like that. But I was going to say, she makes these little balls with turmeric in them. Turmeric and raw honey. They're very palatable.
Is it like the bliss balls where it's dates as well?
No dates. No dates. These are tiny balls.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, and I just take maybe one.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And it's very palatable because there's raw honey in it.
Yeah.
So you can, tempt your kids.
I like that.
Yeah. And you just pop 1 or 2, and it's good for traveling as well because you can take it with you.
So you just pack it into a little,
Put it in a little resealable bag or a little Tupperware.
Cool.
Travel with.
Yeah. So moringa?
Moringa number 1. Turmeric number 2, because anti-inflammatory, also anti-parasites, right? We live in a tropical country. We forget that we have parasites and they thrive in the tropics. Right?
Yeah.
So we need something to maybe help control the population a little bit.
Yeah.
And turmeric's really good for that.
Yeah. And we're always talking about inflammation. It's such a key issue. Reducing inflammation in the body. Yeah.
The root itself, as you know, is quite yummy when you
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
I didn't know that.
Slice it really finely and you add it to rice. It's quite yummy.
Oh, yes. I've tried that
nasi
before.
ulam, we put it in something.
Yeah. Moringa, turmeric.
Ulam raja. So ulam raja is full of polyphenols, bioflavonoids. So it's a very strong antioxidant.
Nice.
Also has a very nice lemony taste to it.
Okay.
So it's very good in salads.
Which a lot of Malaysians know. They love to consume ulam raja in salads or in rice and whatnot. Yeah. What's another term for people who are not Malaysian?
For ulam raja?
Yes.
Cosmos caudatus.
Okay. So for those who are not Malaysian but we want to find out more about this herb, you can Google that. Yeah.
To be honest, I've never seen it anywhere else. Maybe in Indonesia, but it's always sold fresh.
Right.
So if you don't have it fresh, I'm not sure how you're going to get it.
You have to come to Malaysia then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's the only way.
Then I would go for the adaptogens.
Okay.
So Pegaga.
Yes.
Would be one of them.
Yeah.
Right. Centella asiatica.
Yes. I'm a big believer.
Yeah.
Pegaga. Yeah.
So adaptogens are very good for building your body to be more resilient to stress. That can be taken long term. Quite nice if you juice it raw with pineapple. Have you tried that?
No. I mean, I've tried mixing it with lots of different things, but with pineapple, not yet.
It's really nice with pineapple.
Yeah. Very refreshing.
Very refreshing.
Yeah.
It's a nice drink. Yeah.
And the thing is, like, or at least in Malaysia, sambal. You know, they like to just take the leaf and wrap it and eat it with sambal.
There's a specific knot that you do with it and then you dip it in.
Yes. The 5th one.
Andrographis paniculata. Hampadu bumi.
Actually, I'm not familiar with this one.
It's known as the bile of the earth. For good reason. It's extremely, extremely bitter. There's very small leaves. It's like a weed it grows everywhere. It grows very easily.
Right.
I'm sure you've seen it before, but probably don't know much about it.
Because it's everywhere. I'm sure
it is
I have.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't get rid of it. But very potent. It's a very, very good antibacterial and antiviral. So if you're having a sore throat, something's coming on, just grab a leaf and just munch on it if you can. We get it, we dry it and then we pound it. And then we have little capsules of Empedu Bumi. If you've got a sore throat and you have a dried form, just put a little bit at the back of your throat.
Like a huge
it will kill off whatever's there.
Interesting.
But it's bitter though, I'm warning you. It's like
Is
really,
it more
really
bitter than papaya leaf?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, because people complain about papaya. I mean, like in our Pegaga blend, we've got papaya leaf.
Right.
So which people are like, oh, finally I can take papaya leaf without it tasting bitter because in our blend we've got green apples and dates. But that normally is a benchmark of,
bitterness.
Yes, like papaya leaf.
Oh no, this blows it out.
Ah.
It is bitter.
So just be prepared. But then your sore throat will just...
Yeah. It's also very good for your liver.
Ah. Okay, so these are the top 5. The Malaysian rainforest is one of the most magical places that you can go to for healing. Just even forest bathing.
We did that forest bathing.
We did that together. We did forest bathing. It's like meditating in the forest, but standing meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because you're exposed to all of the lovely things that the plants produce, right? The phytoncides, etc.
Yeah.
That have actually shown to boost the immune system and raise the natural killer cell levels in blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and lower blood pressure, etc.
Yes.
It's very healing.
It is extremely. We felt it. And I think that, but you have to just pause when you're there. You can be walking and so on, but you're not chit-chatting with your friends. You're just quiet as you walk through. So with Pegaga, just every day eating it, just wrapping it and eating it as sambal is definitely good for your health. But if you really want the optimal medicinal properties, you need to consume it with the root. So if you're going to juice it, why not just make sure that you also have it with the root? I think that's just very important that a lot of people don't realize. And make sure it's the right species. It's the one, the shape of the bee and not the round, shiny one.
I mentioned 5 herbs that we can find locally here.
Yes, here in Malaysia.
And out of those 5 herbs, 3 of them, so the turmeric, the ulam raja, and the pegaga, we actually use traditionally as ulam, right?
Yes, Malaysian salad.
Although traditionally it wasn't thought of as a salad, right?
Right.
The whole concept behind ulam is food as medicine. I feel it's something that we need to go back to.
Yes.
To bring our medicines into our food.
Yeah.
So we don't have to supplement.
I feel today, people are still having ulam, but in today's world, it's a side salad.
Or it's just one isolated dish, right? Like nasi ulam, nasi prabu. Unless you order that, you don't get the ulam.
You don't.
So,
like you were saying, your grandma used to have ulam in abundance. Like she would binge on it, right?
Binge on ulam. Yeah. And she lived to a ripe old age of 95.
Exactly. That was their supplement. That was the supplement, natural medicine of our ancestors. Exactly. And then today it's just become very different.
Yeah. And ulams are also not only very rich in antioxidants and bioflavonoids, polyphenols and things like that, but also very rich in minerals.
Exactly. So if you want more of your essential minerals and balancing that out, take a lot of ulam.
Ulams are raw. Right?
Yes.
Now, they're not as easy to digest as cooked food. Your digestion has to be quite good to draw out all the minerals from it, which goes back to having good minerals, good digestive enzymes.
Right.
And then you break down your food well.
So it's all a cycle.
It's all connected.
Yeah. So you just have to make sure that you're keeping all aspects of your health at the optimal levels, like your gut health and your adrenals, all of it. Yeah.
But doing it from a place of loving yourself, not fearing things.
Yes. I think that's something that we all have to consciously be mindful of.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's something that you can easily snap into when...
Yeah. There's too many, in
your day-to-day.
Fear-mongering, I think.
Yeah.
Don't eat this because of that. Don't
exactly.
Yeah.
Like even for me, I try and stay away from processed foods like gluten, dairy. Before this, I used to be intolerant where I would react and I'd get rashes and all of that. But now with all these herbs and remedies and tiger mushroom, I actually don't anymore. If I wanted to, I can eat it.
Yeah.
But I make a conscious decision not to because I know it's highly processed. It's not necessarily good for me. But I'm not too extreme about it. But at the same time, I don't look at it as like, oh no, I cannot have gluten, I cannot have dairy. It's not a fear way. I actually get super excited if I go to a restaurant and they have dairy-free, gluten-free cakes and all. I get excited. And I'm like, oh my God, this bakery. And I get excited rather than, oh, I can't eat that. I have to. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't come from a negative place. It actually comes from a very positive excitement sort of environment for me.
Yeah.
So that's the way I have shifted.
Yeah.
But I think, everyone's different, and it's just important to make sure that you're always in that kind of mindset rather than
exactly. Just doing things you love and you
enjoy. You should love it.
At that vibration.
Exactly.
Where everything, then it'll all work out for you. Things will be attracted to you of that frequency. And then you'll find the right pathway to your healing.
I think that is actually one of the most essential takeaways of just your overall health and well-being. I don't have enough money to afford this supplement, whatever. No, this doesn't require any of that.
The sun is free.
The sun is free. The soil is free. So if someone is feeling super overwhelmed, which a lot of people are on a day-to-day basis, what are some of the tips that you can give on how they can better manage that?
When someone is diagnosed with a condition or has health challenges or just feeling stressed, it can be extremely overwhelming. I would say just stop for a second. Just sit with yourself for a bit. Think about what would make you happy at that point in time, that moment in time.
Right, because it might change depending on the situation.
It changes at any one point, right?
Yeah.
But at that point in time, what can you do to make yourself happy at just that point, right? And it could be something like lying down, could be reading a book.
Oh, right.
Could be,
just to give you a sense of relief even.
It could be jetting away to Sarawak, right?
Yes, that worked.
Whatever is within your means, right?
Yeah.
But just taking that step that you show yourself that I'm prioritizing me.
Yeah.
I'm focusing on me.
Yeah.
And I'm loving myself. That one step alone will change your mindset and will give you a shift in perspective. So that then you go within a little bit, sit with yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
And then once you are there in that vibration, things will naturally come to you to lead you down a certain path. You might find someone, a practitioner who completely resonates with you, who is there to help you, to empower you, to help you with things. And you might find a treatment, you might read a book. And say, oh my, this is exactly what I need.
Yeah.
That works for me all the time.
Yeah.
I have a lot of, even my daughter or my patients, I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do in this situation. And I just go, you know what? It will come to me.
And it does.
And it does.
Yeah.
And it does.
Through some way or form.
Exactly. In the least, the way that you least expect it to, it will come to you. So
that's actually very true.
Yeah. So I feel when you're feeling overwhelmed, that's a good thing to do. Just sit back, gather yourself, go within, and the answers will come.
And then I think for a lot of people, they're like, oh, but I don't know what, during those times, I wouldn't know what makes me happy because I'm just so, but I think if you pause.
Just pause.
If you pause, it will.
Yeah.
But during the chaos, you won't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
And it can be something very, very small.
Yeah, like you said, lying down,
reading a book, going
playing
for
with your
massage.
cats.
Yes.
That helps me. During I'm like, okay, 5-minute break.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Just taking that time out. I think that's really, really important.
Yes. Yeah. I think this is definitely one part of an answer to the next question as well, amongst other advice you can give. Daily habits for people who want to know how to naturally restore energy, hormone balance through daily habits. What would you suggest?
I would say, number one, take time for yourself. Okay, whatever that time is, whether it's you going out in the sun, whether it's you grounding, it has to be your time. So you're alone at that point in time, and you have a safe space where your nervous system is able to relax completely and can recoup, regulate itself. Very important for me. And for me, what I do is I meditate. People know this time I cannot be disturbed. Do not disturb.
Airplane
sign
mode.
Everywhere. Right. So I take that time for myself, and then little
important.
things. Like being in nature, very, very important. As I mentioned, I make it really something that I need to do on a daily basis to collect electrons.
Yeah.
So whether it's from grounding or whether it's from the sun or whether it's nourishing food, you need those electrons. Yeah. And it completely makes sense from an energetic point of view as well as from a physical, when you look at quantum physics.
So it's scientifically backed.
Yeah,
like this isn't just,
it's not just some
energy woo thing, no.
Substance.
Yes. Things that people can easily do if they put their mind to it.
So that time for yourself, it can be just running a bath, doing what you want to do at that point in time, something that makes you happy.
The bath, I think, is actually very, very important advice.
I love the bath.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can add other things to it too. It doesn't just have to be salt and water,
Magnesium sulfate, Epsom salt, sea salt, a couple of drops of essential oil if you want.
I was going to say, essential oil. Yeah.
Burn a few candles. Don't burn your house down. But
I do the candles.
Yeah.
And then I put very Zen meditation kind of music.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dim the lights.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes you lose track. I'm like, oh God, I have to get out. If you do not have time to have a proper long bath, what I do is I have a foot bath.
Yes, exactly.
Just soak your feet until put the salts in there.
Or have a long shower.
Or have a long shower.
Not a super quick, mandi kerbau sort of shower.
Yeah. Cold water, warm water.
I am a tropical creature. I do not go anywhere where it's cold. So no cold water is
Okay,
not.
because you know, like
Sometimes
the
I'm brave.
cold plunge,
Yes.
cold water
Okay.
is like
Sometimes I'm
yeah.
brave and I turn it down to cold at the very end.
Right,
I
right.
just turn it down to
Just
cold.
like a wake you
But
up.
that's a few seconds. That's
Okay,
it.
yeah, I do that too.
If it's
And then,
waterfalls and stuff like that, then
it's different.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
For baths, no, it's got to be warm. Sorry, no cold plunges for me.
I get it. I'm a woman of the tropics too.
Yeah.
I get it. So we've shared a lot of tips with our listeners, and I know so many people really want like a personalized, tailored nutrition, detoxification, and lifestyle solution plan. Because sometimes people don't want to figure it out by themselves, and they don't know sometimes to what degree, especially if they've got chronic conditions. If they're chronic conditions or they have a specific health challenge, health issue, or even, just maintenance as you're getting older and whatnot. So I know you have a program in place.
I do indeed.
You share more about that to help more people out there.
The program really is a consultation with me.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, if you feel that anything I've said has resonated with you,
Yeah.
or if you feel that I can actually help guide you, then, I feel very privileged to be able to do that, to assist you in your healing journey. Normally, what I would do is it would be a very in-depth consultation. So we'll
Right.
look at things from your diet all the way to your dental work, covering everything,
Yeah.
covering all the ground. And then we'll look at what would resonate with you in terms of a treatment protocol. So
Okay.
even when it comes to nutritional guidelines, it's got to be something that
course.
is somewhat easy for you to
Yeah.
take steps towards. you
Yeah.
know? And we take baby steps. We don't just plunge right into it.
Yeah.
Because, someone who's coming to you with an illness, you don't want to overwhelm them with, you've got to take this, and change everything, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah.
no. And it won't be sustainable.
Yeah, I do the healing code. So I teach people the healing code, clear emotional blockages, clear trauma. Then I teach vagus nerve stimulation.
I love that. It's really everything. It's so holistic.
I feel
Yeah.
that it has to be.
It has to
So
be.
I've
I
added
agree.
things along the way. I learn from my patients.
Yeah.
So I bring tools in, I learn different things. I'm always doing courses here and there to try and add things in,
Yeah.
You have to treat the patient in a holistic manner, in a very tailored approach, but holistically.
Yes.
So that's
yes.
where I come
And
from.
that's when you see the real results, real long-lasting results.
Long lasting. And
Yeah.
my aim is not to be there all the time for you, not to be your crutch.
No, yeah.
It's to guide you along the way, but it's someone who can help you, because sometimes it can be a scary journey.
Yeah.
Right? To
yeah.
be on your own.
Exactly.
To make these decisions. So I can be there to help you, but eventually you'll have enough knowledge to just go.
Yes,
Yeah.
on your own. And of
Yeah.
course, anytime they want to touch base with
Of
you
course,
again, they
yeah.
can. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you provide this in person as well as virtually for people who
Online.
obviously are not in Malaysia or just not
Exactly.
available,
Yes.
right?
I have different time zones for different people.
Yeah. I'm sure you have
Yeah.
clients, patients all over the world.
Collected quite, Patients
Yes.
have become friends, and
Yes.
it's
But you
lovely.
also have a practice in London.
I do have a practice in London,
Okay.
and I practice there in the summer.
Got it. So at least for any listeners who
when
may
it's
be
warm.
based there. When it's warm, yes.
When
Be there at
it's
the
warm.
best time of the year.
Yes.
Yeah. So great. So I think for any of our listeners, so you can get in touch with Dr. Carolyn. She'll share all her contact details at the end of this episode. And also, if you're a PurelyB community member, we have a special discount as part of our partnership with Dr. Carolyn, 100 ringgit off. So typically it's normally 375 ringgit for a 90-minute consultation online. And it's only 275 for a community because we really want to make this accessible to everyone. So yeah, definitely take this chance to deep dive and prioritize your health and well-being. So Dr. Carolyn, would you be able to share with us the healing journey of one of your patients? We really love to hear the stories.
The one patient who comes to mind is a young lady.
Mm-hmm.
She was based in London, the UK, when I was practicing there. And she had an autoimmune condition. So
Okay.
she had psoriatic arthritis, so her joints were aching. And she was also suffering from fibromyalgia.
Gosh.
Okay, so it was quite severe.
So one thing after another.
One thing after another.
Yeah.
Gut health was all over the place. And the most debilitating thing for her was she had started off her own marketing agency. And about 5 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Things started creeping up, and she was really at the peak of her career when it really, really hit her really hard. She couldn't get out of bed.
Oh,
So she had to rely on
wow.
steroid patches to calm the inflammation for her to actually get anything done. When she came to me, actually, it was a house call because she couldn't come out.
Yeah.
So when I saw her, she was in a really
Oh
not a good state.
Was she in a lot of pain?
She wasn't. So fibromyalgia, your whole body aches.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she couldn't sleep because of that. So imagine you're in pain, you can't sleep, and you can't do the things that you enjoy, the things that you love. So her frequency, she was in a very low vibration. I knew at that point it wasn't a good idea to actually start giving her lots of things to do. Okay, she wasn't in the mindset to be able to do many, many things, to be able to grasp many, many things, right? So I just said, okay, why don't we just start meeting outside? She lived in a block of flats and it had a little communal garden now. She said, I can manage to get down there. It's fine. So went downside and we were sitting outside. So we had our consults outside, and the consults was really just talking to her. Just talking to her. After about maybe 3 consults, again, she didn't realize it, right? She was going out. She was doing grocery shopping. One of the main things that had changed was that she was outside. She was in the sun. So that itself made such a huge difference. Okay? So then I was like, okay, you're feeling much better now. Let's give you something else. We worked on her adrenals because she was burnt out completely.
Of course,
so
running her own agency. Yeah.
Mineral balancing things, yeah. So at that time she had just stepped back from work completely because she couldn't do anything. So just few minerals, okay? So just few minerals. She was taking these minerals, and then it just slowly climbed and climbed. Yeah. And then eventually, I mean, she's fine now.
Oh, great!
Yeah, she knows what. It was
a gradual process.
Very gradual process. So I think it's very important that when you have anything, step back for a bit and do the simple things. Simple things make a huge difference, especially in lifestyle. When she went back into work, it wasn't the same anymore, right? She prioritized herself.
Yes.
Her focus was herself.
Yeah.
Her focus was, I'm getting out there into the park first thing in the morning. Forget meetings. This is my time, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to end up in bed again.
Yeah.
Right? So it was completely
when you
changed.
have that lost time, it rewires your brain on how you should approach life. Yeah.
So, and everything now, she says, everything works so much better for her because she always felt like she had to be the doer. She had to make it work. Yeah. Right? Whereas now she's like, no, I do what I want for myself and it works out around me.
Right.
So I think that's a really beautiful
story. It all kind of fell into place in that way.
For me, it was a huge privilege to help her in that journey because I learned so much from her.
Yeah.
And the little things that we did together. And when she, at the end of it, she actually told me that I really look forward to your visits because, it was just having a different energy there with me. Yeah. And I thought, oh, that's what it's all about, just helping people in that little way. You can prescribe supplements, you can prescribe whatever it is.
But it's different. This changes her life. Yeah, this probably changes her life.
Yeah, so for me, that one patient, although she's the one patient I didn't prescribe the most things to, right? It was just very gentle things, but it made such a huge impact on how I practice.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So it went both ways. You impacted her life, she impacted your life. Absolutely. I love that. Yeah. We talk a lot about this, about empowering women to take charge of their health. And that is such a key example. And I think you kind of answered this, so I would love to hear if there's something else you want to add. What would you want to advise to women to change their mindset around that so they feel more empowered to take charge?
I think be authentic. Be authentic, be yourself, because nobody else can be you. Yeah. Right? You're that one thread on the entire tapestry that has to be that thread. Yeah. If you're not that thread, the entire tapestry is not the tapestry. That's true. Right? So you have to be you. Yeah. And when you're you, everything just works out. Yeah. So I would just say that be as authentic as you can be. Yeah. For yourself. And that once you are authentic, you just end up loving yourself so much. Right?
And then everything just vibrates around you. Yes. Yeah. So, I'm a huge believer in that. Yeah.
Just shed all the skins, Just be you.
Yeah. And I think sometimes some people will be like, I forgot what that is. I'm sure there will be people that. So it's time to take that step back and figure that out again. So we've shared a lot of amazing advice that's been super helpful to our listeners. But to close it off, if you could pick just one piece of advice to share with our listeners to help with their health and well-being, what would it be?
That is the one piece of advice that I would give myself.
Okay.
And everybody else would be to just focus on yourself. Make sure your glass is full. Just keep a full glass and you'll be good.
I think people forget that.
Yeah. I think as women especially, we are very giving, nurturing in nature. Yeah. So we just overstretch ourselves.
Okay, so Dr. Carolyn, I know you're going to get flooded with requests when people listen to this episode. So how can people connect with you? What's the best way to reach you?
I'm on Instagram. So Dr. Carolyn Goh on Instagram.
Right. And we have it listed down below too.
Yep. And I share lots of health tips and whatever I think is useful for the audience. So yeah, you can just ping me a message there.
Are you working on anything exciting right now? Any upcoming projects or products?
Actually, I am. I am working on a mineral balancing product to help everybody else have a good balance of minerals in your body, as well as stress management. So we've got adrenal formulations to help your adrenals when you're stressed. And hopefully they'll be out soon.
We're also working on something together, Dr. Carolyn with myself and PurelyB, launching a
whole food vitamin C complex, a complete vitamin C complex, which also has naturally sourced zinc.
Yes, so something that I myself have really wanted, and finally were able to provide this to other people and to ourselves to consume regularly, easily, and I think that's really important for everyone. So thank you, Dr. Carolyn, for sharing all of your insights on natural healing remedies for whether you have chronic conditions or just overall health and well-being and maintenance. It's been super valuable for all of our listeners. So thank you so much. And thanks to our listeners for tuning in. If you want to get in touch with Dr. Carolyn, her contact details are below. You can reach her on Instagram. And for those of you who'd like to explore our past episodes and conversations on Asian or Malaysian wellness traditions and success stories, visit our Spotify and our YouTube channel. We're also on Instagram and TikTok at PurelyB, where you can get wellness tips, updates, and behind the scenes content. And if you'd like to check out our natural wellness Malaysian traditional products, check out PurelyB.com. Till next time, bye.